Hello， 大家欢迎回来到我们的狂野西部。那我们今天呢会继续我们 Part 1接下来的关卡啦。那我们事不宜迟，我们开始吧。
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did.
Indeed I did. Indeed I did. The Magnificent One.
I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down
Okay,
Roscoe
let's go.
Bob Bryant. And hunting Plummer looked like a good way to get rich quick. As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits and put a generous price on his head.
Oh!
Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape. And that's where I thought I'd find him.
条大路通了吗？我们试看，随便走一条路。哇！奔跑吧，奔跑吧。
It makes me nervous standing so close to all these goddamn. Oh yeah.
Bye bye.
As my late father pointed out more than once, God made men. Samuel Colt made them equal.
上面有人啊，老弟，老弟。诶，这个是人吗？什么路来着？我有点好奇。哦，这啥玩意儿？哦，这很强的。哦，哦，有声音，很恐怖。Yeah, boy. Secret found. 我想我应该不用换枪吧，就这样吧。有枪就好，有枪就好。门口在这边。
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it.
Oh, what the?
It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches. There were thieves and killers, robbing travelers and hijacking gold shipments.
Oh, 跳不上。
Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings.
我在干什么呢？我在干什么
Charlie
呢？
Crow, the blacksmith.
Put that moron out of here.
James, who worked in the stable.
Hello.
Okay, now you're.
Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's
好乱
son.
的。在哪里啊？
Ordinary citizens who lived a
你
double
喺邊度
life,
啊？
stealing and thieving and murdering their
你
neighbors.
谁啊？
Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone cold killers trained on the bloody fields of
新年
Shiloh
快乐
and！
虎
Antietam.
年大吉！
Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one
有炸弹
hand
哦！
while stealing them
一
blind with
爆我
the
就够力哦！
dangerous, desperate individual. He set up a defensive perimeter which I had no idea how to breach. I thought I was some kind of hero. I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny.
Put that moron out of his misery.
哦，这边有人，这边有人，那里，哪里有人？我听到声音啊！好在哪里哦？那是我听错？可能吧。
But first, I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense.
Okay.
It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way.
新年快乐，大家！这是你们的哦，这是什么？什么枪？哦，哦，果然是不同啊！
Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around. And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it. Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell.
这一把枪不错哟。
A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
上面不是。哦哦，跑快点！啊，我被射死了！哈哈哈！哦。哦，死路来的。
Quick reflexes often make up for a lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked. I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom
哎呀，
come.
卡死了。哦，跳下去。哦。
With all that gunpowder and
我都
dynamite
炸弹
everywhere,
哦。
a body has to know what he's shooting at. One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tube.
奔跑吧，兄弟！奔跑吧！
I freely admit that my plan of attack was not just moronic, but clearly indecisive.
哦！
It's a good thing that I abandoned that. Instead, I spotted a ladder, way into the mine from the opposite side. It was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me. Climbing down that ladder required some caution, because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith. Which ain't easy when you're suspended between heaven and hell. I was determined not to give up, however. That Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character.
Oh.
When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way to helping me find old Bob. I had made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water.
多人哦这边，就迎接
But
我们，
first,
我的感动
I would
哎。
have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder.
哎呀 ，sorry。哎呀，爬楼梯啊！爬楼梯，身体健康啊！哦，这声音真的有一点。
I wanted to use the element of surprise. Plus, I figured I could use the exercise.
对的呀。
I was warmed up already, so what the
爬
hell?
楼梯，身体才健康。啊，等我嘞，等我哈。哼，等我。
Plummer was a mad dog.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
终于明白了。Henry Plummer， 哇，摔一下，看到他其实。
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that this was going to take some doing.
What up, yellow? You ain't taking me! Really chapping my ass!
中谁？
I got a lot more dynamite than you! I need some help here!
I need some help here.
Take this cocksucker out!
打不过人就叫人家多出来帮忙打，你好意思吗你？这好意思哦哈！飞了。不是人啊。真的咯，打不过人就叫人家出来帮忙打。飞了。傻小，哎，那个人呢？
I'm going all medieval on your ass! Run! So cool!
哎，醒来了。 他人呢？
So that's how Henry Plummer died. Him and his crew were worth their weight in gold. And now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Hardin. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
Ringo was fast, but John Wesley was as fast as the devil himself.
So far.
Hell, he killed his first man at 15. From that day forward, he had a price on his head and wouldn't back down for nobody, not even Wild Bill Hickok himself. I dodged death many a time, and that night in Abilene was no different. I was there with the intention of finding that bastard Bob and collecting the bounty on John Wesley.
I thought the Texas Rangers got heart.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. It was cold in a witch's tit in a brass bra that night as I fought my way past his loyal compadres to the very same saloon we're sitting in today. Look around and imagine this place painted in blood. Hardin was waiting for me, and I'm jumping the gun here. Let me back up and give you some background on this sumbitch. He deserves that much. Don't you think so, Ben? John Wesley Hardin was a killer. By the end, he confessed to taking the lives of 42 men. He was a bona fide folk hero by then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them.
Shit, it's cold out here. Freezing my giblets off. Ain't right, we gotta stay out here keeping watch like this.
Ain't nobody stupid enough to go after Hardin anyway.
God damn it! Shoot that son of a bitch!
They didn't ask why I was there. They knew. Most of them were wanted as well. I figured Hardin was here somewhere, but to get to him, I'd have to get past his gun hands. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Hardin wasn't in that camp. He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Hardin's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the Bull's Head. Some were hightailing it into town to inform their jefe of my unwelcomed presence.
又来打小鸟。
Brother, I'm gonna make you pay for that. Tell Hardin someone's coming for him.
Stop that son bitch!
啊？
Let the boys
I
know we got
hear
another
you.
law dog.
Where are you? 我看到一把，反正不错的枪。哦。
I wondered if Bob was among them. And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was, deep down I wondered if John Wesley wasn't just a little bit better.
Johnny, Johnny, where are you? Ooh. Johnny, Johnny. Woo! 7天了，过年了。哦。Bam tới đi.
I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very saloon.
Yeah, boy.
Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me.
Put some holes in him!
I felt a certain hostility.
那么喜欢我，哇，我有点感动啊！英姐我有点感动哎。
I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived, as a moment later I was facing down the fastest gun in the West.
皇帝豆。
I felt a bolt of adrenaline. Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him.
OK OK， 这人有点感觉了，有点感觉了。看来我们要赢了，我们赢了，我们赢了。赢个毛线啊！赢
You didn't hit me there. I'm sure of it.
1 hour later.
He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him. That man was faster than greased lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he didn't count his shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
So he didn't die?
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless Avenger took his life. Shot him in the back at a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben? Thank you, darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Grey Wolf. 灰太狼.
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation. A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven. Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death.
这边有山有水有树，看来是一块风水宝地呀！哦。
Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing to die for him. They saw me before I saw them.
哦，偷袭！走，过来，5个联邦人疯狂打架的。
crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down.
Oh, sorry. 哎呦，自己屋子很多年饼哦，哇，感恩大德啊！我恭喜你发财，我恭喜你精彩。
It was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas, and that's why they had retreated there. I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did.
What?
But then again, I had a lot of those.
Did you find Grey Wolf?
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout. A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness. See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit. They had torches on the walls. Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian War. They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
这个场景像不像你的亲戚找到来跟你拜年，可是你还在睡觉？
How come you know so much about engines?
A few years back, I was married to 2 Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death.
Oh.
I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows, and I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me.
What?
As his story unfolded in my mind.
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul would have no rainbow, and I had no tears.
He said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me, though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk.
Go Power Ranger!
I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a miracle. I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever. Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo is right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens?
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, little lady. Steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches surrounding me.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them. And in the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before. I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air.
Oh, Transformer.
Never did find
所以
him.
我最后就要这样进去，
And
结
never
果追了
did
个寂
collect
寞。
my goddamn
OK
bounty.
OK。
Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand. Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of the riot?
I did my best, sir. We all did.
They call me Bounty Hunter.
It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob 2 banks at the same time. 2 banks on the same damn street. Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always writing him about how he had no ambition. Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property. Their first mistake was pulling a job in their own damn hometown.
声音是有点对。 The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity. But everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
Get ready, boys. They're gonna make a move.
The lawmen had been tracking the Daltons for months. Now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. We just gotta wait the son of the bitches out.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. He went in there alone to confront those criminals. He went in there alone to confront those criminals.
Oh, okay.
One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
But he paid him no mind. He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting. From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there. A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
We've got company!
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free.
Is that Silas Greaves? Son of a bitch!
Jim Booth, Davy Crockett, who died defending the Alamo.
Oh, 你們識得我啦，我就係 Silent Grief 啊。Yes, I am the Silent Grief.
Brother, I'm gonna make you pay for this.
冇人嘅。
Over there!
That's Silas Greaves!
What the hell?
哇，原来我这样出名的，开玩笑。
Blam! He came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons. His name was Silas Greaves, and when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened. It was early evening, not high noon.
That's it for you.
The Daltons blew up a safe, and were all set to hightail it out of there. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies.
他们的身高很完美耶，从高到矮耶。
I had been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. Finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them, but they still had friends in Coffeeville.
懂了。
What are you gonna do?
Ready?
Those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions. I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose it. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons hole up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons. And they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons. Which wasn't any surprise, because those 2 families have been feuding forever. And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths. Missing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeeville that day. The Dalton boys knew I would never give up. Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least 2 of them to escape. The 3rd brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work. It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Greaves. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
I'm gonna place you where you stand. Gonna send you to the bone orchard.
Oh!
But Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeeville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him? But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
那我们今天就会先玩到这里啦，然后这个影片出的时候，应该是我们农历的华人新年的大日子，那就先恭祝各位新年快乐呀！各位新年快乐，虎年大吉呀！那我们下一个视频再见吧，感谢你们的观看。喜欢的话，记得给小弟点个关注哟。 再見啦〜